Hello everyone, it's your lovely Abbie Dagrin and welcome back to my channel, lovelies. Today I'll be continuing a series on my channel that deals with natal chart analysis, and today I will be doing one on the actor Austin Butler. I'll be speaking on his personality traits, his characteristic traits. I'll also be speaking on how his placements have led to his success and his personality, so please stay tuned for the rest of my video, lovelies. If you have not yet become a part of the Abbie Dagrin family, then this is your calling to do so. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload videos on the daily. Please also make sure that you hit that like button because I know you guys will love this video. And last but not least, please make sure you're sharing this video with everyone you know, whether it's your friends, your family members, your enemies, anyone who loves Austin or really loves natal charts. Now let's get right into the video, lovelies. Austin Butler was born on August 17th, 1991, so this qualifies him to be a Leo. So because of this, he's someone who's very much a people person. He's someone who's very much passionate in his relationships or anything that he does. He tends to be someone who's very warm. He's a warm person to be around. He's also very bold and very intense and loves being the center of attention. It's very great because he's an actor and having a lot of attention on you is kind of expected, so it's great that he likes that. He's someone who loves to show off and loves to be free-spirited and willful. He's someone who's very proud in himself and he demands his own way. He can be someone who has a lot of strength and energy, and he has a very regal appearance or demeanor, so he's someone who you would think would be in leadership or authority. Next up would be his moon in Sagittarius. So with this placement, he's someone who loves to have power and status. He's also someone who loves to be free, and he's very energetic. He's very carefree nature, and he loves to explore the world. He has a lot of fire in his chart, so that explains his very much energetic nature and carefree nature in a way. He is someone who is very optimistic in life, and that's something that's very needed because life can be hard, so having a lot of optimism in yourself is very important. He's someone who has a very good sense of humor. He's very funny. He's very honest in everything that he does and says. He's someone who's freedom loving. He's very adventurous, loves to have fun, very carefree, very open-minded. That's very much Sagittarius placements. They're go-getters, and they're very friendly, so this is great for him to have. Next up would be his Mercury in Virgo, and this is actually a great placement to have because Mercury is ruled by Virgo. They tend to be the types of people who love to learn different things and appropriate it into their knowledge. They're also the types of people who love to communicate and make decisions in the most practical and rational manner. That's something that they really like and love to do. They're great with their words, they're great at explaining things, they're great at figuring things out on their own. They are the types of people who have analytical thoughts, so anything that they do or think of, it has to be analyzed or thought of, or they have to make sure everything's perfect. They have rational communication. They have an organized way of speaking. Sometimes they can be very detail perception oriented. They're great listeners and they can be great with gestures. So this is a great placement for him to have. Up next would be his Venus in Virgo. So this can be a little bit of a difficult placement. He tends to be very focused on being practical, steady, and consistent when it comes to his love lives and relationships. He's less prone to indulge in flights or fantasy or wild love affairs. He's more interested in finding someone who's very balanced, honest, and upholds integrity. He's someone who wants someone who's very neat, very clean, very tidy. He's someone who's very practical in everything that he does. In a relationship, you want someone like that as well. He's very knowledgeable, very down to earth and helpful. He's also someone who's willing to work and dedicate himself in relationships. He can be very sensitive and maybe insecure or reserved sometimes. He's not the type of person who will make the first move, but he is a great listener to his partner, and he's someone who will analyze his partner. He's someone who is not overly romantic, but he loves his partner. Up next would be his Mars in Virgo. So this is his third Virgo placement. So he has a Virgo stellium. So he loves to be very much analytical in regards to his drive. He's a great communicator. He's someone who is service oriented and research savvy. He's someone who is a person that has the drive of being very practical and rational, and he's someone who loves to stick to rules and stick to principle. He has a lot of patience. He has a lot of developed intelligence. He's very diligent, and he has the strength of the will and effectiveness and attentiveness. He's very careful and systematic and pays great attention to details. He's also seeking perfection and sometimes get bogged down searching for the ultimate adequate way of doing anything. So this can be a plus and a minus. Up next would be his Jupiter in Leo, and this is actually a fame placement. A lot of people with this placement tend to have a lot of fame, and he has a lot of fame. He's someone who can have a lot of glorification of his ego, very extensive. He prides himself in being healthy, but sometimes he can have a lot of pride in himself. He's someone who loves to have an abundance of energy that keeps him doing everything and keeps him on the go. A good thing about this placement is he has a lot of confidence, and he has a lot of confidence in himself. He's someone who's the luckiest when he is in the lead and working with others. He's also loves to be surrounded by friends and family members, and luck flows more effortlessly when he has this as well. So this gives a lot into his success and a lot into what he really likes for luck. Up next would be his Saturn in Aquarius. This is actually a great place to have. He's the type of person who will pick up on his capabilities and will gravitate towards himself in need of support. This can be sad placement, but it's also ruled. So it's a placement that is important to have. They tend to be reserved in their actions with this placement, even though their thoughts are considered to be unconventional. But a lot of the things that they say and do really do make sense and really do benefit them a lot. They're also the types of people who will go through things in their life, but they are also protected in a way. So if you do something to them and they have this placement, karma will immediately come. So that's something that needs to be worked on, and something that's very interesting as well with this placement. So this explains a lot about him. Up next would be his Uranus in Capricorn. So because of this, he's someone who's all about planning for the future as much as possible, and that kind of makes him automatic innovator. So he's the type of person who will figure out different ways to make money, figure out different ways to have a steady future, and this can make him very creative and very beneficial for society. He's someone who loves to seek out practical solutions to a changing society's attitude to custom, traditions, and authority structures. He's very logical and orderly in a matter with dealing with matters that result in permanent and carefully planned but sweeping reforms. He's also someone that is going to make sure everyone is treated equally, everyone is able to be who they are and who they want to be as people. So this is actually a great placement to have as well. Up next would be his Neptune in Capricorn, and he's someone who tends to focus on ways to increase his power, wealth, and influence. And this is kind of the theme of Capricorn placements. They tend to always want to increase something, mostly wealth, power, influence, and that gives them stability, that gives them structure, and they feel comfortable knowing that, I'm able to survive and go through things in a great way because I have everything set in front of me to succeed and to be better, so my mind can be at rest. They are also the types of people who idealize work, practicality and the ability to attain reasonable goals. But because they will also stress the need to be selfless and giving, he may find it difficult to attain his goals unless he has lowered his expectations on all fronts. And this is important because being nice and being kind, you can still have all your goals set. So this is something that he'll need to work on. Next up would be his Pluto in Scorpio. He's been able to have this because he was born between 1984 and 1995. He's someone who has intensity and loves to face things that are scary. He loves making collective issues conscious, him and this generation. And he's someone who loves to have revolutions and collective movements. He loves looking deeper into situations to discover what's really going on behind the scenes, and that's something that he is very great at. He's also someone who is a part of a generation that's not afraid of going against anything that probably previous generations went against, or talking about topics that other generations probably don't want to talk about. So they're very brave and very good because they're exalted in this placement. So this is a great placement for them to have. Up next would be his North Node in Capricorn. And with this placement, he will need to develop these attributes and traits in order for him to be who he wants to be in life. So what he'll need to do is always get involved closely with anyone, because that's something that Capricorn and Neptune does not really like to do. They don't really like to be close to people. So learn how to create relationships that is very practical, and they can offer you something. You tend to be all business when it comes to dealing with others, and that's something that needs to be worked on, because you can have relationships with people without business. He usually is intently to be focused on particular goals that rarely have time to spend time with social people. So that's another thing he'll need to work on, is being much more social and work on himself. Up next would be his Chiron in Leo. So this can be kind of ironic because he has a Leo sun and he's someone who's open, he's in the public. So having a Chiron in Leo can be a little interesting, because at a young age, he may have felt as though his talents were being overlooked, or perhaps he felt like he never got the chance to shine in life. And he may have felt that he's untalented, but he does have the gift of creativity, and maybe at a young age he may have felt as though he didn't have the place to show it. But now that he's older, I think through his acting career, he's been able to heal this wound a little bit, because he's able to show who he is as a person in regards to acting, and being able to dwarf into his roles and be able to be the actor and act out other people's lives. So I think he's healed this wound. Up next would be his Ascendant in Taurus, and with this placement, he's someone who tends to be very practical in himself. He's someone who's very nurturing, very steady, very somewhat stubborn, but he's very musical. He's very artistic. He's someone who is very loyal and loves to be around people. He's very careful and cautious. He may be inflexible or single-minded, and it makes sense because he is a fixed sign. He may appear very sturdy and strong, and if you do look at his face, he does have a lot of bones in his face, cheekbones, so that's something that really benefits him. He may be very artistic, very charismatic, and has a pleasant voice. If you listen to him speak, his voice is so pleasant and something you want to listen to. So that really does describe his rising in Taurus, and it gives an explanation as to his appearance and who he is. Last but not least would be his midheaven in Aquarius, and this is very interesting because it shows his career, and one of the placements that help with fame is Aquarius and midheaven. So in the public eye of his job, he has the image of being spellbinding, starbound, and strange. He's very complex and very alienist. He's someone who's very unique and brilliant and benevolent. He's very special And he could be like a wild card type of person. That's the type of image he shows in regards to the public in his career. He's someone who doesn't mind learning new things. He does not let frustration bring him down. And that's something that you can see. He's someone who loves to just get back up when things happen, and he always has backup plans. So if anything were to happen to him, just know that he has a backup plan and he knows what he needs to do to succeed. That's all I have for you lovelies today in regards to Austin's natal chart. Please let me know down below, did you learn more about him? And did it really describe as to who he is as a person? Please let me know down below also who else you guys would want me to do a natal chart analysis on. And please make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, that like button, and make sure you're sharing this video with everyone you know. And last but not least, please make sure you're following me on all of my social media accounts, from my Pinterest down to my TikTok. Everything will be linked down below. Please also make sure you're supporting my Etsy store and my PayPal and my podcast. I love you all. Please stay safe and healthy, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.